And we're live here on YouTube, the Golden Moses Podcast Land, and also my buddy Rich. Rich, how you doing this week?
I'm doing good, Mike.
Good.
So the weather started cooling off, even though it's probably gonna spike right back up.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys
next
are
week.
in for what we have starting today, but don't get used to that.
No,
We
I'm
are scheduled today to have heat indexes at 115 with a high of only like 92.
I think we get that Monday, Tuesday.
Blech.
So yeah, not a fun way to start the work week, but thankfully I'm more caught up, so I don't have to work some extra hours. So
Going in at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m.
oh yeah, going in at 5.
Yeah.
Starting at 5, so I'm not working as much in the heat. So we'll see how the week goes. Yeah, had a nice birthday weekend. Got a chance to play some dominoes,
Yeah.
play some Mexican train dominoes. Yeah, and had some good time with just with spending time around the family. So
That's always
it's always nice.
It's so nice, isn't it?
It is. So
So, yeah, this week for us it was nice. Busy week. So last week was the fair in Dickinson County, which is where
Okay.
Spirit Lake and all the lakes are officially. This week is Fair Week in in Estherville, so we have a bunch of fair stuff going on. Hey, if you don't know, check your local Hy-Vee. It looks like a lot of Hy-Vees are doing party in the parking lot for kids. A bunch of fun activities and food and stuff. If it's nice where you're at, maybe it's something worth looking at. We're thinking about doing that. We're also thinking about going to the pool, but again, we might just stay home and say to heck with the outside world. It sucks, but we'll see.
gotcha.
Um,
All right, Mike. Pretty loaded show to talk
Yeah.
through. The Banana Ball World Tour is currently being played in Wrigley Field. So talking through that a little bit, talking about that, as well as LeBron James finally made a decision on what team he's going to play for again.
Yep.
How this guy milks. I'm going to play here. I don't know where I'm going to play. Where should I sign with? It's like, I don't know if it's his marketing team, the NBA marketing machine, delaying his announcements and playing it up, but my goodness.
Combination of both.
Okay.
Rich, we also have NASCAR, the NASCAR corner, as always. And you know what? We do have the world. We do the next few weeks. We have some stuff to talk about, but not this week yet. We got a couple more weeks, and the NFL is going to be on our radar. But we still have to talk about football.
That's right.
All
All that
that-
and more, Mike. But what do we got to do first?
Here, go ahead and roll the intro.
Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa, this is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich.
And we're back. So, Rich, before we do any of that, the most important thing we do every week, our poll question.
That's right, Mike. Our poll questions are unofficially sponsored by Route Irish Roasting Company, veteran-owned and operated coffee. Yeah, coffee. Check them out over on their Facebook page to order you some coffee today. Mike, this week's poll was number 6 ranked Dr. Dodgeball versus number 22 Wheelbarrow Races.
Yeah.
Mike, I went with Dr. Dodgeball. I typically think of like wheelbarrow races as maybe something that happens maybe on field day or like the picnic day that you have around school, not a normal activity that gets done in gym class.
See, I don't vote on these based on whether it's this or that. I vote on them on what I like better. And I prefer Dr. Dodgeball. I love the ability that there are multiple ways to save somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just have to catch a ball. There's lots of other stuff that you can do. And so I love it. So I'm a big Dr. Dodgeball fan, which is why I picked it. And wheelbarrow races, depending on your partner, can be more or less kind of crazy.
It can be. All right. How did the votes fare, Mike?
Well, we had one dissenter, Danielle Hart, who voted for wheelbarrow races. All 5 other votes, me, Sue Hart, Josh Hendricks, AJ Hendricks, and you, Rich, all voted for Dr. Dodgeball. So it will be moving on.
All right. So it moves on to the Elite 8, which is what we're up to now. So our first matchup in the Elite 8 will be our number 1 ranked knockout basketball versus Parachute, which came in at number 9. Knockout basketball, Parachute. The poll's going to go live at 10 o'clock, probably right when we're wrapping up this show. Mike, do you see what's coming up next?
Is it a left turn, Rich?
It is a left-hand turn. And what's after that?
Another left-hand turn?
Yes, it is, because we're going to go into the NASCAR Corner. The NASCAR Corner is presented by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, Moline, Illinois, down on 5th Avenue, and you can also find them on eBay. Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated. Mike, how did last week's race go?
Rich, last week's race, man, it was a dominant performance put on by Joey Logano. 323 laps led of 450. Man put on a show for the first points race in North Wilkesboro in over 25 years. I think has it been more than 30 or is it right at 30?
I thought they said it was 30.
Okay.
So
either way,
because the All-Star race was not a points-paying race.
By the way, how long before we start calling North Wilkesboro the Dale Jr. Motor Speedway?
I don't know.
Like, the man literally is the reason that place still exists. It was so run down that they weren't going to be able to, like, they were going to close it, like, they were going to tear it down. And him and some buddies were like, no, this can't happen. Like, if nothing more, we need to save this in virtual reality. And so they wanted to scan it for iRacing. And he's like, okay. So literally, Dale Jr. got some buddies together, and they went through and like cleaned up the entire track because there were weeds growing out. So they took the weeds out. They did a little bit of concrete work, very minimal, just to get it up so that they could, scan the track. That's all they did, just to scan the track. And the people of North Wilkesboro was like, hey, this track looks good. Let's do some other things. And so I think it's been a 10-year process that they've gotten it better and better. And now they actually have full Cup Series races for points. They're friggin' awesome. I love it. Rich, I picked Cole Custer because I just needed somebody to fill in the week.
Yep, Cole Custer finished 28th. My pick of Ross Chastain finished 27th, as he just was not able to recover from having to start at the rear of the field due to inspection issues. I think I liked the racing there. My only complaint, which is for most races, I think, is that with that track being so short, I would have liked to have seen a smaller field. Because only 6 cars finished on the lead lap.
Rich,
6 cars on the lead lap.
Rich, what is with you and this smaller field thing? Like, that's never going to happen.
I know it's not. race. You should have to race your way.
Here's the other side. This is the tradition. This is what NASCAR used to be. Like, this is a very traditional, old school NASCAR short track race. What we saw last week was not unusual. I don't know if you heard or if you saw, but NASCAR had on average at that race, there were only, I think it was 13 people on the lead lap on average.
All I'm saying is, I guess my train of thought is that if on the super speedways like Daytona and Talladega, you typically have larger fields because you'll see part-time one-off people or race shops that can't compete financially, can't compete at a full-time level, but you know what, they'll put the car together and throw it into the entry field on a race like Talladega or Daytona, which can accommodate extra entries, then shrink the thing for shorter tracks.
Okay.
Either which makes sense, but that's just my opinion.
They don't actually make the field bigger at Daytona. The field at Daytona was, I'll go through it. Let's see. Sorry, I gotta go all the way back to the beginning of the season. There were 41 cars.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little inflated, but that's not really inflated. I think 43 is the maximum amount of cars that they let in any given week. And there were only 37. So it is shrunk. There you go. It is shrunk. It's a smaller field. But you're saying you would prefer something more like the Bowman Gray heat races and all that stuff to get you down to like 23.
Which probably isn't going to happen. But I mean,
so, okay, you have to have a minimum of 36.
Okay. That is something I did not know, Mike.
Well, there's 36 charters.
Okay, so automatically, if you have a charter, that automatically gets you into the event no matter what.
Yep. So there are 36 charters. And technically, any race can have 40-ish cars in it. If teams don't show up for those races, there's a little bit less. But there's minimum 36. And part of the charter is you have to show up every week. So if I'm set as an owner, Rich, I'm putting you in the owner seat. You're Michael Jordan right now. You legally are required to be at the track. Send your card. Do all that stuff. Try to qualify. All that stuff. Does it make sense for you not to have your car in the race? Or are you going to lose money to not have your car in the race? So, all 36 cars have to have so minimum that you can have is 36. And that's because of charters. I don't know. I think I think 36 is a good number. And again, last week I think I said there were only 37, right?
Fair enough. You've proven me wrong on this one, I guess.
There was only one extra racer outside the 36 charter teams.
Okay.
Now, Good news for your boy Ross Chastain. He did run the fastest lap of the race.
He did.
So, okay.
All right, Mike.
Rich,
this week
you are at 13 and 12, so you have honors for the Brickyard 400.
All right, heading up to Indy. I'm going to go with Bubba Wallace.
That's a great pick. That really is a great pick. I personally am going to pick Todd Gilliland, mostly because let the guy win the challenge.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Going with the guy going for $1 million. He's essentially, yes, he's racing the field and probably wants to win the race, but at a minimum, he needs to finish higher than Ryan Blaney. As I think for me, I was wanting to almost pick one of the Roger Penske, Team Penske drivers, because it's Roger Penske's track, so you know they want to do well, if not win the race. So that left me with Joey Logano and Austin Cindric, since I already used Blaney this year. But I decided to go with somebody else outside of Team Penske, to go with Bubba Wallace. So you can catch that race. I think it's at 2:00 over on TNT. The last TNT race before they take a week off, and then the schedule shifts to the 4th network that NASCAR is on with their current TV partner, and it shifts over to the USA network.
So it's 2:00 Eastern, 1:00 Central.
1:00 Central. Thank you. Thank you for clarification. All right, elsewhere in the NASCAR world, the number 48 car is secured for next year, as Alex Bowman signed a 1-year extension and has already announced that it will be his last season, as he's had some setbacks this past couple of years, between vertigo and concussions. So this will be Alex Bowman's last year in the number 48 car, before that seat opens up for a more permanent driver, for a new permanent charter.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, he's young, so I get why, but I also...
Well, it said it did. I think his announcement said is from full-time racing. So could he rotate in and be a fill-in from race to race, or if Hendrick wants to field a 5th car in the field?
Yeah.
Or somebody else, or a partner organization needs a fill-in driver that's affiliated with Hendrick. Could Alex Bowman step into the seat for a one-off? Maybe, because I don't think I've seen Alex Bowman go down to the O'Reilly series to race in a Hendrick car. That's mostly been Elliott, Byron, and Larson going down to drive for JR Motorsports, I think.
Yeah, I don't...
Or in the Hendrick car in the O'Reilly series.
I don't understand it. It seems a little early. But again, I also understand that he really has missed a lot of time this year and has health issues that he has to do. And so I get that also would be a reason to not do it. And I'm not, like, I get it and I'm okay with it. I just, man, it seems... Yeah.
All right, Mike. Anything else in the NASCAR corner? Is your buddy? Is your not a buddy, but your current other favorite driver, Cletus McFarlane, up to anything?
Boom. I haven't looked. His next race looks like October 23rd for the Truck Series in Talladega. I think that might be it. I was hoping he was going to do the Kansas fall race, but it doesn't look like that.
Yeah, especially with us probably looking to be at the truck, at the
oh yeah, we're gonna be
truck
there.
or O'Reilly race. So
Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be, yeah. He's taking some time off, doing his normal NASCAR thing or his normal YouTube thing. There is some speculation that they kind of want to make him a full-time driver at some point. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but yeah.
All right, Mike, go ahead and take us out of the corner.
This has been the NASCAR Corner, presented as always by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, Moline, Illinois. Check them out for all your sports memorabilia needs on 5th Avenue in Moline or on their eBay store. Once again, this is the Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated NASCAR Corner. Let's keep making left turns as we head to the dirt for some baseball talk. Rich, the Cubs did well, but not perfect.
No. All right. So they took 2 out of 3 from show to show. From our perspective, they swept the Twins, although they dropped the Friday opener. They dropped the series with the Tigers 1-2, with one of those games being a 10th inning letdown. And then they beat Pittsburgh last night in extra innings, giving them 4 wins. So my pick of 4 was correct. Mike, you gave them 5 wins last week. So
yeah, you did a good job on that.
All right, trade deadline's getting closer, as it's going to be next week, Mike. Going to be the 3rd. So maybe you could have. So by the time we go on the air next week, maybe some trades have been completed. So hopefully the Cubs can pull in 1 to 2 pitchers, maybe a bullpen piece to shore up the back end of that bullpen. But we'll just have to see. So hopefully that's something to talk about. Probably be a topic of discussion over the next 2 episodes of our show.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. It's hard for me. I think the Cubs could be buyers. The part that is kind of difficult on that is, if they're buyers, are they really going to buy this year? Is this year the year that the buying is better for them, or should it be a different time?
Yeah, and like I said last week, you got the complicated thing of a possible work stoppage. So even if you acquired a guy with a year of club control, you might not get that full year of extra club control that you would normally get, because there could be a work stoppage next year.
Yeah, and again, that's a scary thing. Like, as the Cubs right now, like, do you see this year as the year that the Cubs are going to be?
So could they make it? Could they make it? If they could make it out of the National League, I think they could, because the American League I'm not seeing a team in the American League that can win the World Series. But you got teams, Philly, the Dodgers, and Milwaukee, looking good, playing great baseball too. So you got to make it out of the National. You're not going to be able to make it out of the National League without beating 2 of those teams.
Right. Like, that's going to be hard.
But we've got a lot of prospects that are just blocked right now. So if you have a team that needs an infielder, we got a couple of infielders that are blocked right now.
Yeah.
And we got a guy in Kelvin Alcantara that seems to be, it's almost looking like he's a 4A player. Great AAA player. Potential's there to possibly be a major leaguer. He just hasn't been able to put anything together yet. Maybe it's due to playing time. Maybe he's just destined to be a 4A player. A guy a replacement, like a bench guy that doesn't get regular playing time.
Yeah.
So those are our trade chips right now, looking between James Terrenos, Pedro Ramirez, Kevin Alcantara. It wouldn't surprise me to see, or maybe even Matt Shaw. I've heard Matt Shaw's name floated around as somebody they might trade, but it's hard to trade a guy that's injured with no timetable for a return.
Yeah. So, and again, the other side of that is you gotta watch. You like the stoppage changes everything.
Yeah, because a guy under normal circumstances, a guy that has a year of control is going to warrant a bigger package, a bigger trade package. But do you adjust your trade? Do you counter back saying, no, that's too much? There could be a work stoppage. I might not get that extra year of control that I'd normally be trading for.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. Regardless, we look at all the trade acquisitions, not just the Cubs.
Who is the biggest buyer this year for you?
The biggest buyer.
I know exactly who I think it is.
I think Philly would make a big move. Their core is getting up there in age.
Yep,
and
that's my number two.
You can never count out the Dodgers because I think they're flush with cash.
They are flush with cash, but the problem with that is that they are completely like where do they have room to fit people in?
The thing is, for a team like LA, I could see them making a trade so that somebody else doesn't get said player.
Maybe.
If it's a pitching wise. If on the pitching side, I can see them do it. But yeah, a lot of their lineup is pretty well set.
So my argument, and it's actually a team that I don't want to be buyers, but I think they are. And again, I'm not saying, hear me out, I'm not saying they're 100% buyers, but I think they could be very easily a buying team. Right now, Milwaukee.
Okay. Yeah, I could see Milwaukee being it as well.
They are looking like they're going to be one of the best teams in baseball this year. Like they are one of the top teams in baseball right now, period. And if they continue at that rate, like why wouldn't they be buyers?
Yeah, you're probably right on Milwaukee, and I think Atlanta's
the other one, yeah. So my number one is Milwaukee, my number two is Philly, and my number three is Atlanta. Like that's to me, I think those are the three places where it 100% would make life, like they are teams that we know we have to stack up against Detroit or against the Dodgers. Like your goal this year, it has very little to do, especially right now, with being the best team. You need to figure out how to beat Detroit. Or not Detroit, LA. Like that's the team you have to worry about. And so I think that Milwaukee doesn't have the team to beat them. And they need to do stuff to buy it. They need to buy their way into beating the Dodgers.
Okay. Yeah, I can agree with that assessment.
And because I don't think the other side is I don't think that like the Cubs might be buyers, but with as good as Milwaukee is, like, and again, I think they could, like, in the playoffs, the Cubs Milwaukee be a great game, are a great series, and I think the Cubs can win it. But are they then going to have to play? Are they then going to have to probably end up playing? What's it called? The Dodgers.
Yeah, or how the bracket stacks out. The way the bracket will stack out, they're gonna have to play at least 2 of Atlanta, Philly, LA, and Milwaukee.
Yeah. So if that's the minimum that you're gonna have to do, then like for the Cubs, I don't know that that's gonna be a viable thing.
Yeah,
it's baseball, so anybody can play anybody.
Yeah, you just can't have a repeat of last year where it was almost, they had way too many bullpen games. By the playoffs, when you were already in the division series, and it was bullpen games.
Yeah.
And that's just not something the Cubs have. That's not the Cubs' strength.
Nope.
To piece together innings, getting outs instead of innings with a traditional starting pitcher.
Yeah.
But we shall see. I'm pretty sure that they're going to have to get at least one starting pitcher. We just need to see whether that's going to be a guy that you think of as an ace, or is he a guy that would, on a contending team, under normal circumstances, would more than likely be a number 2 guy.
Yeah.
So the upcoming week, Mike, they're going to be in Pittsburgh for 2 more games, heading down to St. Louis for 4 games, before finally coming back home to face the New York Yankees.
Yeah. I think this is actually a pretty decent week for them. I think they again go over 500. I think Pittsburgh's going to be those games as close as last night was. I think they should win at least one of those. They should pull off at least 2, if not 3, against St. Louis, and the Yankees game is going to be a coin toss.
Okay.
I'm going to give them 4.
I'm going to go 4 as well. I don't know how they're going to get there per se, but if they can win one of those 2 games with Pittsburgh, split in St. Louis, and then I think I'm with you with the Yankees could be a coin flip depending on where the rotation lands by the time they get to Friday afternoon.
So let's get into our real baseball topic of the week. The Savannah Bananas are in Chicago.
That's right. They took over Wrigley Field for the weekend.
Yeah.
As they not
only took over, sold out Wrigley Field. 41,000 fans for 3 games, right?
Yep, 3 games. So they played Friday night, a 7:00 game, which got aired on ESPN. They're going to have a Saturday early afternoon game at 4:00, which you can catch on their YouTube channel or stream it on the ESPN or Disney Plus. And then the Sunday game is back on ESPN2 for a 3:00 game.
Yeah.
So there were a couple of things that I did get to watch the game. I watched the game last night, or most of it, and it was kind of funny how they put the Bananas mascot in a ghillie suit, and he hid amongst the ivy from time to time throughout the game.
Was there a special thing that if you hit the mascot, you get a home run?
No, there wasn't. There were 5 fan outs during the game.
Nice.
5 fan outs, yeah, and I guess they have a promotion with Dairy Queen to where if a fan makes an out, all the fans in that aisle get a free treat.
Nice,
so
even better.
Neat. But I still saw some. I think there were some maybe I'll call them missed opportunities amongst the scheduling though. A 1:20 Friday game should have been scheduled.
Yeah,
that's a Cubs tradition to play a Friday game at 1:20.
It's a Wrigley tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know they could have sold out that game. They probably could have put that game at 8 in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Well, the Cubs could put the game at 8 in the morning, and they'll sell the thing out.
Yep.
So, and then I also thought that a doubleheader at Wrigley Field would have been neat to have seen scheduled, even if you were going to do it as a day-night doubleheader, to where you did the first game at noon, and that would have had the game over by 2 o'clock. You could have cleared the stadium, restocked all the concession stands, cleaned up the stadium, and had it ready to go for another game at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
But
I like both of those concepts. I love the hard part is the bananas are breaking tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Just are.
Yeah.
And that's part of the game.
Yeah, and I know they do a lot pre-game with fans lining up, waiting to get inside the ballpark.
Yep.
Because all seating is general admission. There are no assigned seats.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So you mean I could have, if we would have bought the tickets, because you are a season ticket holder.
No. Banana ball tickets are separate from cup stick.
No. I'm saying you could have. You're a member, a banana member, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys drop that?
No, we didn't do that. But anywho, let's say that we won tickets to the lottery. Yes,
I thought you guys get guaranteed tickets because of your membership. Okay, but let's say you were guaranteed. You guys got tickets. If we show up at like 6 a.m. and just stand in line, we can sit right behind home plate at Wrigley.
Yes. If you got there in time, yes.
So, Rich, how much can we buy those tickets for tomorrow's game for? And how much of a road trip are you up for? Because I'll be there at 6 tomorrow morning.
Yeah, but all their seating is general admission. I think with the major, at least at the, maybe it's different at the major league seating at the major league ballparks. But when we went in Des Moines, and most of their games at non-major league stadiums, it is general admission. So yes, with their, if they had done a day-night doubleheader with everything that they do pre-game and even post-game, with making players available to do like pre-show, post-game autographs and photos, and keeping merch tents open, it could be hard to do a doubleheader. But it just would have been neat to see. I mean, if it wasn't that the bananas they're renting, they got to pay some sort of an agreement with the ballpark owners to be able to do a doubleheader, to be able to play at their ballpark and then make the money back by selling all their merch and TV rights and game receipts. So could you have done a doubleheader in both Chicago stadiums? Finished the game at Wrigley, gotten on the subway, and then
could you imagine that subway ride? Like, could you imagine that subway ride from Chicago, from Wrigley to the bananas are on there? Like, call it the banana line, and make it an express. Like, hey, City of Chicago, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a doubleheader. We're gonna do it. We need a train. We need a train to get us from here to there as quickly as possible. We will be
the entire thing on YouTube Live, the stupid thing.
Yeah. Just have a big old party on the thing. Or here's thought number 1475 or whatever.
Yeah.
Why not have the bananas do a double header in a similar vein, but have the bananas and firefighters at Wrigley, and the clowns and the tailgaters at guaranteed rate, and do the same same doubleheader, but you have a train.
Do you have because some players are going to play in both games?
Well, you have a train for fans that have tickets to both.
Ooh, okay.
And on that train is going to be Jesse and a couple of the other like people from the gang. Like you'll get some of the players, and they'll let some of the players do like, hey, Stiltsman is on the train, not in his stilts, but Stiltsman comes and you can use him as your golden bat. Either team can draft and then do like a draft where either team gets to draft 2 players from the Bananas and the Firefighters to come for that one game.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
Like that way you can have your B team over there doing all their pregame stuff, and then the Bananas Stilts guy, I don't know his name, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
But the Stilts guy is coming in the 7th inning as the golden batter.
But you could time it to where people are getting off the train.
Yeah.
And introduce them as they're getting off of the train platform.
Yeah.
And do all that. So.
Yeah.
And then
Go ahead.
Yeah. That's a neat. That would be a neat idea too. And then the final thing, unless they didn't air it on ESPN or I accidentally dozed off, no 7th inning stretch.
That's sacrilegious.
You didn't do a 7th inning stretch at Wrigley Field, the ballpark that is known for doing a 7th inning stretch.
Did they do a 7th inning stretch in Des Moines?
Yeah, that would be. I thought they did. That would be like going to Milwaukee, and maybe they didn't do this either, and not having rolled out the barrel.
Well, right,
Milwaukee.
But I'm saying, do they normally do the 7th inning stretch? I would assume that they did. They just didn't air it.
It was 3 years ago. It was 3 years ago when we went to the game in Des Moines.
Wow.
So I don't remember whether they did a 7th inning stretch or not. But maybe they didn't air it on ESPN because while they don't do commercial breaks on their YouTube live stream, obviously with ESPN, they got to adjust it a little bit to have commercial breaks. Yeah. Just some observations. So we're my folks and my brother are going to come over. We're going to get some pizza and we're going to watch. We're going to put the game. We're going to do the YouTube stream of this afternoon's game, and I think with Sunday's game being on ESPN, we might have to do a dual screen of the race and the banana game because I'm curious to see what other Cubs they bring back.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that, did we?
We didn't. Ben Zobrist made an appearance and then he rode his bicycle onto the field through the right field gate. Rode his bicycle all around the field. Parked it in the on deck circle and took an at bat for the Bananas.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Did you hear about the other thing that he did?
No.
He played six different positions within the one inning. So he started at second base, and then he shifted over the short and right and center, left and center. So he got into I think if the inning had gone on enough, he probably would have gotten through everything but catcher and pitcher.
Oh, I think he could have done it.
I don't know if they would have had him pitch, but it would have been.
I think it would have been fun
catcher
to
and
see.
pitcher would have been timeout. I don't know if you can have a timeout to say that unless they've got it staged to where.
See, the key would have been starting as catcher.
Oh, and then all right, in between pitches, throwing off the gear and then turning around the normal catcher.
Taking
comes back.
off the gear can be much quicker than putting on the gear. And so I think the key is you take off, like you start him you start him at catcher and then move up from there. So.
But yeah, that was kind of neat. It seems to me like this would be a Rizzo type of thing to do.
Yeah.
To come in and take an at bat for one of the teams.
Yeah.
So, and they also had the Bears owner out there as an umpire.
Oh,
George
nice.
McCaskey. George McCaskey, and I guess like they were talking to him. He was the right field umpire down the right field line, and I did not know that he is an actual registered and actually volunteers and does Illinois high school baseball games.
Man, if I was a billionaire, I would do the same thing. Like,
he's certified and is a regular on the circuit, I guess, as being an umpire at high school and IHSA games. I think he mostly mentioned baseball, but he goes around and does that, which is kind of neat. I did not know that about George McCaskey.
Yeah, I mean, that's really cool. That's amazing. I didn't know that either. I think it's really cool. Here's a fun one. If you end up playing him, if he ends up being your or playing and he's your umpire, do you fight him on stuff?
I think he was bringing up an issue with the fan challenges. It's like, yeah, if I get challenged, no, call stay in the game on the field, even if the results say different otherwise on the screen. He did not like the idea of like the fan challenging an obvious fair foul call that they did, and they were talking with him through that while the rest of the crew were watching things on the TV screen. So I got the sense that he was not a fan of either the player or the player challenges.
Making a statement like that makes me want to say, then why did you even agree to do this?
Or the thing that I don't know if I have the right wording right. That's just the impression that I got. Is like, I don't know if I like all this challenging stuff.
And
it's
maybe
like,
he's talking
I'm
about
the umpire.
Maybe he's talking about the
Yeah, I think it was
MLB,
the team or the player challenge. I don't like that. It's like, no.
Maybe with the MLB, but I'm saying like if you do it at if you do it as a
in a banana ball game.
Well, I'm not even saying banana ball, but I don't even remember where. I'm sorry, I totally forgot.
That's all right.
I was going with that
but
one.
Yeah, I don't know if this was if George was there just for one game or if he'll be there throughout the series. But yeah, that was kind of neat to see. So what other Cub you put? What would your prediction for another Cub to come out and make an appearance?
I think both of us agree. It seems like a Rizzo thing. Like that seems right up his alley. I think it would be great to see. Again, I think you and I have people that we prefer over other. Like there are people that I'm fans of. Ryan Dempster.
Dempster does seem like he was a goofy guy. He was a goofy, fun guy.
And
so,
on top of it, like
Ryan Dempster.
To me, he's a Cub. And I know, like, we made room for. I'm again listening to Lovable Reunions and them talking about we traded Dempster for, and I forget who it was, and I'm like, I remember that trade, and I remember not being.
That's how you got Kyle Hendricks.
Yeah,
that's how you got an unknown guy named Kyle Hendricks.
I was not happy about Kyle Hendricks coming on because I loved Ryan Dempster. Was one of those guys that I loved as a Cub, and I don't think he got as much credit as he deserves. Jeff Samardzija is who brought Arrieta. Oh, was it Russell?
That was Addison Russell.
Right.
Brought in, but they got him.
Again, guys that, like, for me, I look at it and I'm like, it's hard to watch, to listen to this, and I'm going off on a tangent about the podcast right now, but it's hard to listen / watch to this podcast because the lovable reunion. Because when I watch it, all I can think of is, man, doesn't Dempster deserve to have his own, to have gotten a ring with the Cubs?
Yeah.
Doesn't Samardzija, it, looking at how and
I mean, if you want to go down that road, does Starlin Castro deserve a ring? He went through a lot of the rough years.
Yeah.
That led up to 15 and 16.
Yeah.
But one more, as long as you brought up the lovable reunion, have you had a chance to listen to the Theo Epstein episode yet?
Yes.
Okay. What was your thoughts on Epstein and the Indians? The Indians general manager and the commissioner getting brought down to talk through the rain delay, and it coming to light that Fox Baseball wanted them to suspend the game, and they would resume the game in prime time, 7 o'clock the next night, to get more money out of it. How would that have changed the course of history if they would have said, nope, game's being suspended, we don't know when this rain is going to end?
I think that I'm glad they didn't. I mean, obviously I'm glad they didn't, because they ended up winning. But
I mean, as Cleveland, would you have said, nope, your game ticket doesn't work for this, it's extra innings now, just buy a special one-game ticket to come to the
and you get what, 15,
of the game,
and you get one inning?
It could have been one inning. He had talked about, I think in the episode he thought of the idea, whoa, that could get Chappie some rest, and he can come back out he could have come back out and started the 10th instead of it being Carl Edwards Jr. and Mike Montgomery. So you could have had Chappie go out in that situation.
Yep, and that's part of what I have a problem with. It also changes, okay, if you're thinking that it's gonna take whatever 20 hours, you're gonna need all this extra. Does anybody else become eligible to come back out? Is it?
Well, you could have had Arrieta and Lackey at that time. Could have been more of an option to come out of the bullpen.
Could you imagine?
They're actually resting.
Could you imagine if Arrieta was rested and came back out?
And he was the one that threw the 10th inning.
It didn't matter what inning. He would have closed out, he could have gone 8 more innings.
Well, no, he started game 6, so he would have been on 2 days rest.
Okay, he could have gone 4 innings. And Lackey could have gone 5 innings. Those two being truly available, I think you start Lackey and bring Arrieta in as the reliever in that situation, if it's me.
If the game keeps going that far?
If they would have moved to the next day.
Yeah, if the game kept going past the 10th inning.
Yeah.
You would have had more options.
I wouldn't even bring Chappie in. I would say, hey, Lackey, you're playing tomorrow. Be ready. And then I would have said, Arrieta, you're coming in the 5th.
If it goes that far?
Because, honestly, those two guys could have... those guys were lights out at that time. So, nothing. The Cubs wouldn't have had to worry about anything. I think the Cubs still win, but again, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard come out of a theoretical sports blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, that is dumb. Dumb.
Of them wanting to suspend the entire situation, or just him thinking in his mind, hey, we could get Chappie out there?
No. I think
them making a decision off of a broadcast partner saying,
well, the broadcast partner saying, hey, we want to come back out, or we want to go back tomorrow. We want to wait till tomorrow. No, you're dumb. Get out of here.
Yeah, I was glad that was revealed, though. That had never even crossed my mind that could have been how the World Series ended, of having to have an umpire walk out onto the field and say that the game is suspended. It will resume at this time tomorrow night.
Now, if the rain kept going for an hour or 2 hours, yeah, I think that's a possibility. But and I would say if the rain would have if it would have continued for more than an hour, if the rain would have kept going for an hour, because now we're talking 1, 2 in the morning. After, like, if they would have been in the locker room for that long, an hour is huge.
Yeah.
The guys are starting to get cold. So, yeah, I could say in that situation. But if you're talking just basic 15, 20 minutes, what it ended up being, no. Go ahead. We don't care. So.
All right. So let's get back. I'm sorry.
No, I love it.
I had never thought of that was even in the conversation of them saying, not worrying about how long the weather forecasters were saying, what the radar was saying.
Yeah.
To say, nope, regardless of, let's just consider this because we could make a lot of money off of this. So I'm glad the commissioner stepped in and said, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
All right, World Cup, Mike. Getting back on track and probably looking to wrap up the show.
Yeah, we're at 57 minutes. Good show.
Yeah. All right. Winner, Mike, was Spain.
Yeah.
Your pick of Argentina finished second, though.
Yeah.
Much better than the USA, and especially my pick of Germany. So we got
Can I confess something to you?
What's that?
I had no clue that Argentina won the last World Cup, and I had no clue. Like, I just was like, what teams are in the World Cup? Oh, I like Argentina. Let's go with that. I'm like, they should be good, but I don't know. So I genuinely was not, like, that was not a pick based on past history or anything like that. It was literally just, yeah, let's go with Argentina. They have good beef.
Gotcha. All right. The NFL, Mike. Our first NFL preview topic will be the Bears' wins and losses, where we'll go through the entire schedule and give you a way too early prediction on whether they will win or lose the game.
Yep.
But that's not going to be, we're going to start that on the 14th and the 15th of August.
Yeah.
21st and 22nd that weekend, we'll look at the division and wild card predictions. And the last week of August, we'll look at the fantasy football, give our picks for who you should target in a fantasy draft, or at least in our opinions, who are the top 6 at each position.
And then September 4th and 5th, we're going to give you our Super Bowl predictions, and we're going to have to predict 2 football games, as we have the kickoff Wednesday game. The NFL kickoff game will be Seattle and Boston. I'm sorry, New England. And then on Thursday night, which is weird that the American game is before but whatever, is San Francisco and I forget who San Francisco's playing, but in Melbourne, Australia. And then we start regular coverage the week after.
All right, Mike. It's funny that it's almost the title of our show turned into a quick hit, but LeBron James announced that he's going to go to Philadelphia.
Oh my goodness! You're saying that LeBron is still... I'm sorry, was that too much?
Yeah, it was a little bit too much. He'll team up with newly Sixer Jaylen Brown, as well as
Joel Embiid.
And longtime Sixer Joel Embiid and Tyson Maxey.
I think it's going to be a great team. I don't know. Is Joel Embiid gonna be healthy enough for this season, or is LeBron gonna be like, hey man, you're sick all the time. Come do the things with me. You're gonna learn. I'm gonna teach you how to be
That
healthy.
would be wise. Or you turn around and say, you're going to be injured the first half of the year. You're not going to play until after the All-Star break. After the All-Star break, so we can have you ready for the postseason.
Yep. I don't know. Either way, whatever. Who cares? Okay, ready for our quick hits, Rich?
Yeah, go for them.
I got nothing for esports, but shout outs. I have 2 today. Yesterday was my dad's birthday. So happy birthday, Dad. 69.
Ooh, okay.
Nice. And then happy life day to Joe Perry. We celebrate every year, like even if we're not together, I celebrate every year that I get to continue a friendship with him, because it is on that day 16 years ago he was shot in Afghanistan. The fact that he's still alive is a miracle of God and can only be explained as that. How do you get shot in the face and in the femoral vein? By the way, the fact that it didn't hit the artery and he bled out in 30 seconds, or the fact that the bullet didn't go through his brainstem, is a straight miracle. So happy life day to him. We celebrate that on Wednesday. So with that, Rich, what's the time? If people want to watch us, if you're listening in podcast land, how do they watch us, Rich?
Yeah, if you're listening to us on podcast, make sure to check us out on YouTube, as that's where the live stream is done every Saturday morning.
Today.
On Saturday mornings. And if you're listening to us on YouTube, if you found our YouTube video either live or at a later, if you find us live, leave a comment.
Yeah.
As long as it is appropriate in Mike's eyes, we'll share it.
Yep. If you are watching on podcast land, or if you're watching on YouTube and you want to take us on the road, check us out on Facebook, or check us out wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. Also, if you're on Apple, give us a 5-star rating. And a review. And if you are on Spotify, subscribe, or anywhere where you're watching or listening, subscribe and do all the things so you don't miss an episode. With that, Rich, if they want to participate in our poll question, tell them how to do it, and then take us out of the show.
All right. Our poll questions are always on our Facebook page, Fans of Balls and Sticks, as well as you can look up mine and Mike on Facebook, as probably this poll question is one of the few things that we post on Facebook on a weekly basis. This week, knockout basketball versus parachute. It is live, should be up live right now. Make sure to vote in it, but also share it. Yep. Share it. Help us out and get those votes up. So, Mike, with all that being said, let's go ahead and roll the outro.
Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa, this is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich.